What's up, everybody? Welcome to Metal Remains Backstage. My name is Manuel. I'm in Madrid, and with me, as always, is my friend Carlos Cortez in New York. We have Diana from Italy.
Hi.
And we have Martijn, who is right now in Holland.
Hola.
And these are members, of course, of Delain. How are you guys?
Very good. Great. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you for accepting our invitation, for being with us in our virtual backstage. I hope we can go to an actual backstage somewhere near in the future.
Great.
Nice.
All right, let's begin with the most serious questions of the whole interview. What have you guys been listening to these days?
Oh, wow. That's a good one immediately. I have been listening to the last Beast in Black record. I think it's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love Beast in Black. Great music, and the singer Jannes is insane. He's out of this world. I also like a band called The Birthday Massacre. It's metal with some industrial synthesizer-ish 80s influences, and I love it.
I can imagine you love synthesizers.
Actually, I like guitars even more.
Wow.
And what about you, Diana?
Oh, there's a band that I really like. It's like one of my favorites. They're called Tesseract. I don't know if you guys know them.
Yeah, I know them. I'm the guy that likes newer stuff here. Carlos is like the oldie but goodie kind of guy. So yeah, we know Tesseract.
Yeah, I love them. So I've been listening to them. And then I've been listening to Bring Me the Horizon these days. And also there's a band called Paramore. They have released a couple singles. So I've been listening to that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are a huge band.
Yes, yeah, I love them. And yeah, I think that's about it. And oh, well, of course, I listen to video game soundtracks whenever I'm doing stuff around the house. So like I listen to a lot of World of Warcraft soundtracks, like 3 hours long.
I was hoping you said God of War soundtrack, for example.
No, I'm only into Warcraft.
You know, that is so interesting because my son, I have an 8-year-old son, and he's very into this game, Plants vs. Zombies. And all he's listening now is the soundtrack from that game. He goes to YouTube on my phone and he just keeps playing those tracks for some reason.
You must love that music, right?
Yeah, I kind of know them by heart now.
I know exactly what you mean because I actually played Plants vs. Zombies like for a long time last year. I started playing it in a plane. And then I bought it on my computer, and I played it a lot.
Wow. Yeah, it is. Well, Diana, you were announced to be the new singer for Delain. Last summer, a band that has existed for over 20 years already. How does it feel to become the face of a band with such a long career?
It's a dream come true, of course, for me, especially because I've always wanted to be in this kind of band, in a metal band, symphonic metal band, since I was a teenager, since I was in high school, and I discovered this type of music and I started singing, and I used to go to so many shows, like local ones and also around the country to see these huge bands. And so, you know, being in a band like this now, it's just, I have to pinch myself most times. Yeah.
The dream come true.
Yeah, it is. It feels amazing. And also, one thing that I really like is how much freedom I have as a singer and as a creative as well. When I joined, I didn't think I would have much freedom because, you know, the songwriters, Martijn and Gus, they write the music and they write the melodies and all that stuff. So I thought, well, I guess they have, you know, the structures to work with. and I will have to follow all those, and maybe I won't be able to express myself the way that I want, but that's just not the case. It's just the opposite. I'm really free to explore myself as a singer and to grow so much.
Awesome.
Right, that is so awesome to hear, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Martin, you founded Delain around 2002, right?
I don't regard that as the real start, because for me that was kind of trying things out. But indeed, if you look at Wikipedia online, then and we had a kind of a demo, then people would say 2002. Yeah.
Okay, so and just to put this into context, Diana, how old were you in 2002?
Uh,
Oh boy.
in 2002, I was 12.
Okay, I don't have any further questions.
Yeah, I'm 81.
Well, that means
I
you're a
won't tell you my
vampire
age.
because you don't look like 81.
Yeah, if you look at my skin, you can also say I'm a vampire. I always burn and get a red lobster if I'm in the sun.
Oh boy. We have seen comments, and fans have been very welcoming and mostly positive to have Diana in the band. Was this the reaction you were anticipating with fans?
I actually, honestly, didn't dare to expect something so positive, because indeed the vast majority of the people have been really welcoming to Diana and accepting the new songs. And of course, it's already really difficult if you change a singer of a band that is around for such a long time. Even more if you have like a whole lineup change, you know. And to me, it was really really important that there was enough Delain DNA left to justify continuing. And for me, that therefore it was important that all band members returned, and that also even guests that were on records before, that there was a lot of connection there. And I think that really helped fans to connect with this as Delain. And I know the sound is still there because the main songwriting is still done by the same people, but still, that, you know, it's tricky. And I was really nervous with the release of the first single if people would embrace us, and I'm really grateful.
Diana, we learned that before joining Delain and becoming a heavy metal queen for many fans, you were singing already. What is your musical background?
Oh, good question. Well, I started with Evanescence, Avril Lavigne. Then I got into symphonic metal, like Within Temptation, Nightwish, Delain. I discovered them in 2009. Then I started to, you know, join local bands here in Italy, and I started to, you know, sing with them, both cover songs, and also we started writing some of our own songs. But of course, it wasn't nothing serious. We were just playing along and just having fun in general. And we did play a couple shows like around where I live in Torino, and we also Milano, but it lasted like 3 years or something, because then I left the band. I went to Canada to live there for 5 years, and it was hard to, you know, they were in Italy, I was in Canada. Like, how can we make this work? We just can't, because we can't play shows, we cannot record together. And eventually I was like, you know what? It's hard to find people to work with and to be on the same page and all that stuff. I'm just gonna start collaborating with people like producers and DJs, and, you know, working with producers that make like trance songs and EDM and pop music, and they would send me the tracks and I would record on them at home. So it was really easy. There weren't many things to manage, like when you have a band, you know. And I did that for like quite a while. I think 5 or 6 years, something like that. And then I came back to Italy, and then I started to buy my own equipment and to shoot video and audio and all that stuff. And I started my YouTube channel for covers. And then I started, you know, going back to my roots with my symphonic metal influences, and I really got that passion back. You know what? I really want to sing again. Like, I want rock music because that's where I belong. That's how I started. And so I started to make YouTube covers, like Within Temptation and Nightwish. And then it's funny because I kept this channel up for like a couple of years, and then I got busy with other things in my life, and I almost stopped singing for like a year. And then Delain came up, which is funny because the way I discovered the news and the split and all that stuff, it was of course through social media. And then I saw one of their posts on Instagram. I think it was Sander playing drums for the new record, and I was like, okay, what do I do? Should I reach out and ask if they need a singer, or what do I do? Because this is a big band. And I don't expect anything back anyways, like a reply or something. But then I just went with it. And even though I was really like scared and insecure, because I was like, I have no experience playing in a band like this. So what should I do? I just went for it and left a comment on their social media. And I was like, hey, can I audition as a singer? And with like a smile face at the end, just as a joke, mostly as a joke. And then I think 2 or 3 days later, Martijn reached out to me. And at first I had to check if it was a fake account, because, you know, we have these.
He wasn't trying to borrow some money from you, right?
No, not at all. No. But yeah, so he reached out to me, and he said, of course you can audition. I'm going to send you something to sing on. And I was like, what? Is this real? Is this actually happening? I was really shocked for like a whole day. And then that's how the whole audition process started, with him sending me some material to sing on. And then he sent me some original songs as well, which happened to be the first Delain singles. So yeah, this is my background pretty much. I started from rock, symphonic metal, then I switched to trance. But of course, I never abandoned metal and rock music because that was always in my heart. And I always had the passion for that type of music and to sing that type of music.
That is a great story.
Yeah.
Very, very inspiring.
Yeah, because
Thank
people
you.
need to make the first move sometimes, and sometimes it pays off just like this. And Martin, what does these trance music sensibilities bring to the table for new compositions on Delain?
That's a good question. I never thought about that, to be very honest. To me, music is music, and songs are songs, and they can be often molded in several forms. But in the end, if you take an acoustic guitar and a melody line, that's the song. And how it's executed doesn't really matter that much. To me, how I discovered Diana actually was when I went to her YouTube channel. I looked at YouTube channels of singers, and I saw her channel where she was indeed doing covers of bands. I thought, wow, she sounds great. So I have to write down her name. So I did. And a couple of days later, she posted that remark. So that was for me such a coincidence. I thought, like, okay, this is not a coincidence. Perhaps I should reach out. So I did. And here we are. And the funny thing is that she had these covers of like Nightwish and Within Temptation. I was talking to people from Within Temptation and showed them the cover of Diana doing Within Temptation. And a week later, I saw Thomas and showed him the cover she did of Nightwish. So that was really fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
And everything came just to have, to be brave enough to ask the question, right? Because if you will have stopped and let your fears not let you do it, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. That's so awesome.
Oh, you're so right. And the funny thing is, I had so many fears in my mind holding me back, because I was like, these guys go on tour, like huge tours and huge festivals. I've never been on a huge stage. What am I gonna do? Like, but then I threw away all those thoughts and all those voices, and like, you know what? Just do it. And I left the comment, and I encourage everyone to do that. Do it. Just do it.
Go for it.
If you feel, just go for it. And you learn, you will learn along the way, and you will make mistakes, of course, because no one's perfect. But don't make your fear stop you, because it's just not worth it. Fear is not worth it.
Yes, absolutely true. The release of your upcoming album, Dark Waters, it's around the corner, and we are eager to listen to it, courtesy of Napalm Records. What was your input on the album other than the actual singing, Diana?
Well, I did have the chance, like I said, there was really a lot of freedom for me on this record, both with my singing style and with experimenting. Of course, the Delain DNA is still there, even in the way I sang the songs, I think. You can still hear it and feel it. But I did have the chance also to write lyrics for two songs. One is Moth to a Flame, which we released as a third single. And the other song I wrote the lyrics for it is Tainted Hearts, and also the vocal melody. I had the chance to do it. And of course, I worked on backing vocals, and I had the chance to add, cool layers of backing vocals. And it was really a fun process for me. And I learned so much, of course. And one thing I never did was to record like in my classical voice. Even though I'm not a classical trained singer, I had so many spots to let that type of voice shine. And I love to sing, I love classical singing, and that was really fun for me to explore.
I wanted to talk just a little bit about Moth to a Flame. That caught me by surprise because it's very catchy. What's the inspiration on that particular song?
Well, when it comes to the music, our co-writer Gus, who writes with us since day one in Delain, he wrote this song. Yeah, he did a tremendous job. And personally, it gives me an 80s feel, but that's because I grew up in the 80s. So that's my perspective. And it's indeed a very catchy and therefore also very Delain-ish kind of song, because we have metal mini opera kind of songs, but we also really have these pop songs. But with a metal edge, and I especially love the riff.
It's very heavy in what appears to be a very soft song, so it's a very good contrast.
Exactly, and that's the contrast in Delain we always play with, to have at one end sometimes even cheesy stuff, and on the other hand having this really metal edge things going on. And this is a good example. And when it comes to the lyrics, I don't know, Diana, if you can tell something about that.
Yeah, every time I write lyrics, I'm always inspired by where I'm currently living in my life, experiencing, or by my past. So for this one, I was really inspired by a situation that I was kind of like addicted to it. It could also be a person, because a lot of people relate to the lyrics. And for some people, it's a person where you just get addicted to that situation and you just go back to it in your mind and you relive those memories just to get that excitement and pain at the same time, because it's obviously a painful situation, and you just keep going back to it. It's like a drug,
That was my question. Is it drugs?
No, it's not drugs. No,
okay.
No, it's a person and a situation. It's like a back and forth thing between situations and people. Yeah.
And now that we're talking about songs, do you guys have any favorite song from the album?
Ooh, yeah. When you answer to an artist, they will always say, "Yeah, they're all children of mine, and we can't choose." But of course, that's a lame answer. So we're not going to do that at all. So, for me, that would be the song Invictus, and this is kind of this mini opera I was talking about. And Marco Hitala is also on here. People know Marco Hitala from Nightwish, of course. That he was a singer in for a very long time. He actually lives in Spain nowadays.
I'm going to look for him.
Oh yeah, you should. Absolutely. No, and this is kind of a mini opera song. I really like how that worked out, and there's a lot going on in that song. So that would be it for me.
Yeah, and for me, well, it always changes, because like I think a month ago I said Beneath, like it was my totally favorite one, and it's still my favorite one, but I can't just pick one. So my other favorite one is Hideaway Paradise.
Oh, we haven't heard that yet.
Oh, well, I think you're gonna like it. Yeah, it's just amazing. There's just the way it starts, and there's a cool build up, and the chorus just explodes, and I just sing my heart out, and it's just awesome. I love that song.
Oh wow, I'm willing to listen it right now. Before we go, can you share with us one of your favorite backstage moments?
Ooh, can I start?
Sure.
It was definitely on my birthday. It was in August last year. We played this festival in Switzerland, and we were backstage. And I don't know. I think I went to check the stage for a second and came back. It was in the afternoon, and the guys were waiting for me with candles and like flowers, and they started singing "Happy Birthday" to me, and that was such an emotional moment for me. It was really cute, and yeah.
Yeah, for me, we were touring with Sabaton and Nightwish in the US in 2015, I think. And the last show, of course, you pull pranks on other bands. And when Nightwish was playing, Sabaton completely emptied their dressing room. And when I say empty, everything, even the light bulbs, even in the toilet area, even the toilet paper, the sofas, everything. So when after the show they went into the dressing room, it was empty, and that was really fun.
Yeah, that's wild. Great. By the way, come back to New York City. I'm going to be waiting here for you guys.
We can't wait, and we're working on a tour for the south of Europe, including Spain and Italy, and also for South America. But it will be a while, but we are working on it. We can't wait.
Great.
Yeah, don't worry.
Awesome.
Take your time. We're going to be waiting for you guys. With that, I want to thank you guys for coming to our interview. Thank you very much. Thanks to everybody watching this. Please go like and subscribe to Delain. Check out their upcoming album on February 10th. Dark Waters will be available. Go buy it and stream it, and also catch up with them whenever they hit the road next to you. Guys, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Hope
for
to see
having
you
us.
sometime soon. But until then, stay metal!
Yes.
Metal.